मेरी आ रही है आवाज? हेलो। हेलो।
Namo Namaha. A very good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of CSIR NISPA, I welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Padma Shri, Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji, other dignitaries, distinguished scientists, other staff members, and this August gathering for this exclusive Swastik lecture series on yoga for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. SWASTIK, which stands for Scientifically Validated Traditional Societal Knowledge of India, was initiated in August 2021 upon the clarion call of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. CSIR NISPA was assigned as the nodal organization to carry forward this idea. And under the leadership of Professor Ranjana Agarwal, Director CSIR NISPA, along with her team, the idea was launched. The main idea behind this mission was not only to create awareness among the masses about the science behind the indigenous knowledge systems of India, but also to create or highlight the ancient traditional wisdom of India. Till now, 37 scientifically validated traditional knowledge stories have been successfully disseminated in 17 languages across different social media platforms. Swastik Lecture Series is a part of such initiative which not only brings about the thought-provoking ideas but also the insightful discussions on traditional knowledge system of India. As rightly said, that knowledge is power, let us evoke the goddess of knowledge, Devi Saraswati, inside us. I request our honorable chief guest, Padma Shri Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji, Shri Hassan Javed Khan sir, Chief Scientist, CSIR NISPA, Dr. Charulata ma'am, and Dr. Parmanand Burman to kindly light the lamp and inaugurate the session. Sir, please do the honors.
तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डिता शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Now I request Shri Hassan Javed Khan, sir, to kindly felicitate our chief guest, Padma Shri Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji, with a plant and a shawl as a token of respect. Please give a huge round of applause. Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Charulata ma'am, Principal Scientist, CSIR NISPR, to felicitate Shri Hassan Javed Khan, sir, with a plant. Thank you, ma'am. I hereby request Shri Hassan Javed Khan, sir, to present a welcome address and introductory remarks to this August gathering. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mona Lisa. Welcome to this SVASTIK lecture series, 4th in the series. Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, Director CSIR NISPR, has had to stay back because of some immediate health emergency in her family. And so on behalf of Director CSIR NISPR and on behalf of all the staff of CSIR NISPR, I extend a very warm welcome to Dr. H.R. Nagendra, Padma Shri Nagendra ji. He was here for an editorial board meeting yesterday, and we are glad that he has consented to deliver a lecture on yoga for holistic health. And this is a part of, as already announced, the SVASTIK initiative, which was taken up on the exhortation of the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and handed over to CSIR NISPR as a nodal organization. We are happy that the small team very ably led by Dr. Charulata and under the personal guidance of Dr. Ranjana Agarwal has taken a number of initiatives to take scientifically validated traditional knowledge to the public through various platforms and through various approaches, which includes holding conferences, workshops, getting in touch with experts in traditional knowledge, asking them to write articles, gleaning portions that can be shared with the public, and creating very eye-catching social media creatives. And we understand that the project is doing really very well. They have also been in touch with MyGov, holding competitions on the MyGov platform. And one of the initiatives has been the lecture series. 3 of these lectures have already been held. Today we have the 4th lecture, and we are happy that the lecture is being delivered by Dr. Nagendra on yoga for that strives towards holistic health, in the sense that yoga is not just meant for a fit and healthy body. It also aims at creating an alert and a stable mental outlook. So we are very eager to listen to you, sir, and a warm welcome to you once again.
Thank you, sir. In 21st century, when technology rules our lives and commotion in mind and thought regulates our behaviors, yoga is the solution for all. As quoted rightly by Yogacharya Shri Iyengar ji, yoga does not change the way we see things, Rather, it transforms the person who sees. Yoga takes you to the present moment, the place where actually life exists in reality. Before our distinguished chief guest, Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji presents his keynote address, it is an honor for me to introduce him through his short biodata. Dr. Nagendra was born in a respectable family and completed his PhD in mechanical engineering from IISc Bangalore. After serving for a short stint as a faculty at IISc, he joined the University of British Columbia as postdoctoral research fellow. He joined NASA Marshall Space Flight Center as postdoctoral research associate and to Imperial College of Science and Technology as a consultant in 1972 and visiting staff. Dr. Nagendra ji joined Vivekanand Kendra during 1975 as a whole-time worker, served as Secretary All India. He worked as Secretary Vivekanand Kendra Yoga Therapy and Research Committee, VK Yogas. He was also All India Vice President of Vivekanand Kendra, Kanyakumari. From 1986 to 2000, he was the Secretary of Vivekanand Kendra Yoga Research Foundation, Bangalore, and the Director of India Yoga Institute. From 2000 till date, he is the President of Vivekanand Yoga Anusandhana Sanstana. He served as Vice Chancellor of Swami Vivekanand Yoga Anusandhana Sanstana, the premier yoga university from 2002 to 2030, and currently he is serving as the Chancellor since 2013. He has published more than 30 research papers in engineering and authored 150 papers on yoga and co-authored 35 books on yoga. He guided nearly 30 PhD students. He is also nominated as chairman, vice chairman, and member of various committees by Government of India. Coveted with innumerable number of national and international awards, citations in recognition of the extemporary contribution in the field of yoga, during 2016, Government of India honored him with Padma Shri Award. Thank you, sir. It's an honor for us to have you here. And sir, I think everybody is waiting for you to listen to your keynote address. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
My dear brothers and sisters, I bring greetings to all of you from S-VYASA, Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthan, TMD University in Bangalore, and from VAYU, Vivekananda Yoga University in Los Angeles, and from Indian Yoga Association, to all of you for this wonderful work that you have initiated under the name of SVASTIK lecture series thing that Honorable Director Niranjana Agarwalji has initiated and the whole team is executing. What is the relevance of Indian knowledge base in the modern era of science and technology? Is a question that comes into the mind of most people. Therefore, I captioned today's my talk as meeting the challenges of our era of science and technology. What is the relevance of our Indian knowledge base is the thing. This has been envisioned by Swami Vivekananda way back, 1893 and earlier, which has been translated into action in the modern times. We are all aware of the tremendous growth that has taken place since the Industrial Revolution, which is a transition to new manufacturing process in Europe and in the United States. It was generally in the period 1760 to 1820 and up to 1840. It has completely revolutionized our entire world And we have been able to live even in the most hazardous conditions because of the technology that we have been able to develop. And continuously, the whole system is changing. The society is changing so fast in all aspects of our human endeavor, whether it is in the field of health, education, science, technology, management, economics, business, music, dance, drama, arts, jurisprudence, psychology, psychiatry, parapsychology, and even in religions and in social orders. There's a tremendous change that is taking place, and it has brought such great dividends for us that we have been able to build skyscrapers, underwater tunnels, information technology. Sitting here, we were able to build the whole globe into a single image and have our conversations throughout the world. And in the field of medicine, we have very powerful pharmacological intervention, which gives you immediate relief, whether the painkillers or insulin, for example, can bring down the sugar levels so drastically and so on. And large number of surgeries, nearly 5,000 types of surgeries today available. We can replace almost every part of the body. And we are even racing to see how best we can even change our genes so that our entire personality can be changed. And to make this possible, we have trained specialists and super specialists all over the world, and they are doing miraculous work. So these are all the grand achievements of modern science and technology that we have witnessed over the last 400 years since the time of Newton and Descartes. But at the same time, along with these great achievements, we have also had a number of challenges which are also fast creeping up the whole world. Among all these things, stress. Stress has become the prominent feature today. Look at the student unrest. Earlier, stress used to be only in the executive world. But today, every small kid, says, "Mom, I'm so stressed up, I'm so tensed up," is a common thing that we see. And correspondingly, the hazards of drug addictions, it has become so rampant. In the United States, by the time a student completes his 10th class, he or she would have tasted either a minor or a major psychedelic drug. Even with 0.1% of the people getting stuck with drugs, imagine how horrible it will be. This has become the biggest challenge in the American world, And want to talk about alcoholism, gun, terrorism, family divorces, continuously in the ascent. When I used to be in the United States in 72, 73, 74, normally an American would have one divorce. But by 1979, 80, it became 2 divorces. By 1983, it became 3 divorces. So they said, why marry and divorce, marry and divorce? Why go through the legal hazards? Better we live as long as we want. When we don't want to, we'll say goodbye. The whole marriage institution has started collapsing. And want to talk about the corresponding single parent problem or on the ascent. And psychosomatic, psychiatric problems or on the ascent. We thought of infectious and contagious diseases as the biggest killers in the last century. But today, whether it's asthma, diabetes, hypertension, heart problem, epilepsy, migraine, irritable bowel syndrome, cancer, AIDS, all have started mounting up, bringing millions and millions and millions of people every year, which are causing the mortality rate increase. And there is no solution to this NCDs. Once you're diabetic, you're a diabetic. Once you get hypertension, you must go on taking medicine. If you get cancer, your days are numbered, they come to pass. With all the achievements that we have done, why this is happening? Why is the big question that comes? I consider the reason is the knowledge base. The knowledge that we have today in the modern science, in our entire science and technology is limited to the physical world. Just to refresh your memories, modern science started about 4 centuries back, and it was Newton and Descartes who started the ball rolling. And continuously the growth started without the scientific methodology of formulation of the hypothesis, designing the study, conducting the experiment, double-blind studies and whatnot. And if all things happen and then you have the same result in multicentric trials, then we have the inference and achieve this thing. It has been so systematically developed. And once it started, soon the scientists found that this world is very complicated. We do not know how even an object falls, how the rain drops, how the lightning occurs, how the thunderbolt comes. We don't know even simple things, down to earth things like that. So what to talk of gods, goddesses, devils, pishachas, and others? No, we can't understand everything in one stroke. So let us start understanding the physical world to begin with. The objective is to find out the reality from where the whole universe has come. But let us start with the physical world. Let us try to find out what is at the base of this physical world. Once we complete understanding, then we go to the deeper dimension. This is how it started. Over 400 years, we have reached a stage we understand almost everything about the physical world. Every object is all made out of molecules. Molecules made out of atoms. Atoms made of protons, neutrons, electrons, and others. They are all made out of quarks, packets of energy. So everything in the physical world that we see is nothing but energy, energy, energy. And you can precisely calculate how much of energy is in given matter. E equals mc square. That we understood there. Then we also understood the laws that govern them. Newton's laws of motion, which we all have studied in high school days. This is called as the classical mechanics or deterministic approach. According to this, everything in the world is determined. They are governed by these laws. There is no ambiguity at all. If I leave an object, 1 second, it comes down 32 feet. If I launch a rocket to the moon, every millisecond you can track the trajectory. All these things have been done. But when you go to extremely high speed, like an electron swirling around the nucleus, then Newtonian mechanics will not hold. The deterministic collapses. And we have to go to the higher laws. Quantum mechanics, theory of relativity, then all the probabilistic mechanics. What is the difference? If I leave an electron can come down, it can go up, it can go to the front, to the back, to the right or the left. In fact, an electron develops like a globe. So you cannot say where will the electron after 1 second. It may be here, it may be here, it may be there, it may be far away. We can only talk about probability of finding electron after 1 second, 1%, maybe 0.1%, maybe 0.01%. And this can all be calculated by the Schrödinger equation, the mathematical equation of probability function. So therefore, in a sense, we understood everything about this physical world. We know what is it made out of, what are the laws that govern them. Therefore, anything physical we have been a big success. Putting man on the moon, building skyscrapers, underwater tunnel, information technology, and building skyscrapers, everything physical. Similarly, infectious and contagious diseases and surgeries, everything is physical. We have been a big success. Then what is happening to science? Fritz of Kopra wrote that wonderful book, 1983, Turning Point. I think many of you would have come across. How many of you have heard of this book or gone through that book? You must all go through this thing. It's a 250-page book, which was a bestseller. Millions of copies were sold at that time. What did he write? A famous personality from University of California. He wrote traced the entire history of science from the time of Newton and Descartes, and how the science grew, how we have come to this stage, and what are all the advantages that we got, what are all the challenges that we are facing. Then he says, remember what Newton said. Having completed the understanding of the physical world, we go to understand the deeper and subtler and causal dimension of this universe. We are in that stage. We are in that transition, he writes. And therefore, science is in that transition to go beyond the physical, to understand what is deeper, what is the higher dimensions. That's what we think. That is the turning point. In this understanding of the totality of the universe, we are in a very embryonic stage. And any challenge that is related to the subtler and causal dimensions of the creation, we have no solution. Stress is one such. Modern NCDs belong to this category because stress is not merely physical. There is mental restlessness, emotional upsurges, deep-rooted psychological conflict, all could be at the base of stress. So also the NCDs. Therefore, the challenge is multidimensional, very complicated, and our solution is one-dimensional. How can you solve a multidimensional challenge with a one-dimensional solution? That's why we had a failure to completely give a solution to the challenge of stress and the modern NCDs and the challenges that we face in the world at large. So if modern science and technology cannot give us the solution for the challenges that we are facing in the era of science and technology, what is the way out? It's here that India comes into picture. Because in this country, we had understood the whole of this thing, that the grand knowledge base that we have in our country, Indian knowledge base that we have. Where are they contained? Yoga, spirituality, that's the dimension that we have. They're all contained. So the challenges of the modern era that we are facing, these are all things. They need a complete change in our understanding. There is a paradigm shift that is needed. In modern science, people thought that everything is about matter, and it's from matter, life comes, then mind comes, emotions come, everything can be explained by matter. It's called the matter-based approach, or upward causation, as Amit Goswami talked about. What does that mean? There is nothing apart from matter. Everything is nothing but matter. Then what is life? Function of the DNA or RNA molecules. What is mind? Functioning of brain cells. What are emotions? Functioning of the specific centers in the brain, like the rage center, the lobe center, and others. What is consciousness? Nothing but the functioning of all the DNA, RNA, and the entire molecule. So everything can be explained by matter. This was the mindset that we had in late 70s, 79, 80. Then people started sending, if this be so, can we create prana or life out of matter? That was the condition. Therefore, people started working in this direction. If we can replicate the DNA or RNA molecule, then we are creating the life. This is what we thought. But the computers in late 70s were not big enough to actually construct or create a DNA or RNA molecule, because very complicated. By 1981, 82, 83, we were able to create that thing. Everybody was excited. Now we are going to create life. Then through life, we can create the type of human beings we want, and we can have complete mastery over the whole creation. That was the enthusiasm that was emerging in 1980s. And all laboratories in the world have started working on this to create prana, life out of matter. But 2 years, 3 years, they were able to create DNA or RNA molecule, but prana did not come out of it. They tried to push and pull this thing, nothing happened. So by 83, 84, it was all decided prana is something different, mind is something different. It cannot be created by matter. And it was then Professor Amit Goswami and the top scientists of the world said, we have to completely change our outlook. From the matter-based paradigm, upward causation, we must have the downward causation. That is, consciousness is primary. From there, the prana, the mind, the prana, emotion, everything comes. Finally, the physical world comes. This is the change in the mindset. Therefore, to meet these present challenges, we need that type of paradigm shift that is needed, that is on the offing. So it's here that yoga has had coming up in a big way, and it is the wonderful change that is occurring. After the Industrial Revolution, now a revolution of the making. The making is yoga. Yoga is in the making of a new direction. And that is the big change that is occurring world over. And it was all initiated by Swami Vivekananda 1893 in the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. And he said, religions are meant to bring harmony, love, peace in the world at large. But what has happened? In the name of religion, we have waged the maximum number of wars and massacred millions and flown rivers of blood. So let this august parliament make a decision that we will stop doing these things and see that we all work together to bring peace on earth, to love, affection, make one big family. And that was the great message that he gave. and he heralded the grandeur of our knowledge base that we all have in India, the Vedas, containing the whole science. In Vedas, we have the Uttarmimamsa and Puramimamsa. Uttarmimamsa deals with the science of the Vedas, whereas Puramimamsa deals with the technology of the Vedas. And they're all contained what are called as Upanishads. Upanishads are repository of the knowledge. You can call it encyclopedia of knowledge. And somebody asked me, how many Upanishads are there? I said, I don't know, maybe 1,000. But I have seen 800 Upanishads in print. Among them, there are 10 Upanishads which are the most important. Isha, Kena, Katha, Mundaka, Mandukya, Aitriya, Taitriya, Prashna, Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka. Brihadaranyaka is the biggest and Mandukya is the smallest. So what is the content of this Upanishad? What do they talk about? According to this, the Wisdom Upanishad says that there is a complete dimension which is unchanging. And emerging out of this thing is the entire creation. And this ever-changing dimension is the creation. And Sanskrit is called Jagat. Jagat comes from the word Jagatyan Jagat. That which goes on changing is called Jagat, is called creation. So in this world, everything is changing. For example, this body, every day a billion cells get created, a billion cells get destroyed. Since we all came to this hall, all of our bodies are changed. What to talk about the prana and the mind and the emotions and intellect, everything changing. Therefore, there was a biggest, wonderful, great Buddhistic philosopher. He said and developed a beautiful model for this entire Jagat. He called it the Kshanikavada. Kshanika means temporal, which goes on changing. It was so logical, so wonderful, and so great. Everybody accepted that. And for decades, it was the order of the understanding of the entire creation. Then came a brilliant student, and he asked the question, sir, we marvel at the wonderful thing that he had developed. But I have a question for you. Yes, what? If everything is changing in the world, is there something does not change? He asked. He did not have an answer. That a later group, Mahayana group who came, they said, it is shunya, it is silence, it is zero. It's called the Shunyavadis and the Kshanikavadis. But after a few decades, when Shankaracharya came, he said, how is this possible? This fantastic world that we have, can it come from a zero? Impossible. That also should be infinite. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. This Jagat is infinite. That also should be infinite. Then what is the relation? Purnat, Purnam, Udachyate. This entire world has come from that. If this comes out of that, what happens to that? I've got this pen. I take it out from there, it becomes a zero. X minus X is zero. So it becomes a zero. No. X minus X is zero is the law of the finite world. Infinity minus infinity can be infinity. Therefore, Purnasya Purnam Adaya, Purnam eva avasishyate. That Purna remains untouched, he said. So that is our original state. That is the state from where all of us have come. And that is called Paramatman. That is infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite freedom, infinite bliss. And Swami Vivekananda called it as our Paramatman, is our divinity that all of us have. And from there we all have come. And we have our Jivasma that's coming here. So the ever-changing dimension is there. So from that, this world it comes is the Jagat, is the creation. The creation has the seen and the unseen dimension. For example, we have this physical body, which is the seen body. But apart from that, there is the unseen dimension. Similarly, with the physical world, which is the seen dimension, there are the grosses. Then it is said that you have the unseen dimension, that the subtle and the causal dimensions of this Jagat. And that has been beautifully described as the 5 layers, 5 bodies we all have. The physical body is called Annamaya Kosha. Then bigger than that is the Pranamaya Kosha, then Manomaya Kosha, then Vijnanamaya Kosha, then Anandamaya Kosha. These are the 5 bodies for the physical thing that we talk about. Then in the physical world, this is for the individual. Then in the world of cosmic things, we have got the electromagnetic field, at the base of this entire physical world. Then more pervasive of this entire thing is the pranic field, called the bioplasmic field. Then we have the mind field of the astral field, much bigger, more pervasive. Then much bigger than that is the information field or Vijnanamaya Kosha. And the biggest and the most pervasive is the Anandamaya Kosha, that's the bliss field. All these layers are in continual interaction. They go on changing and changing. Change in one brings a change in all others. So that is our head. So this is the basis on which the yoga has been developed nicely. So yoga is the foundation of this Indian knowledge base. So that's the greatest contribution of India towards art and culture. And this forms the basis for all different spiritual traditions and this. Then what is that yoga that we are talking? Is it a magic? A lot of distorted views about yoga, Dog yoga, bear yoga, all types of distortions have come up, Acrobatics of the body. And what is yoga? The word yoga comes from the root yujyate anen. Yujyate anena iti yoga. Yuj is a dhatu. That by which you expand ourselves. That by which you join our small individual self with that all-pervasive self is called the yoga. Raising ourselves to a more normal level to become great, super, divine human being and reaching the highest level of that perfection itself. That is what yoga is. So in the human progress, you could see how we have moved. Man as an animal, how we have become the normal human being. From there, we went to become great human beings. Then self-actualized human being itself, then the divine man. And ultimately, that pure consciousness, the ultimate reality. This is what yoga offers through these things, So what is the outcome of yoga? In that process of growth, we develop our health, bliss and poise, harmony and efficiency, and to build ideal social orders with harmony, love, peace, affection, build one family. That's the theme of this thing. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. That's the objective of yoga and our entire knowledge base that we have. Patanjali said, how to do that? That to gain mastery over the mind. Yogaha, chitta vritti nirodha, he said. What is that mastery? You know that we all are developing the power of concentration. From the random mind, the haphazard mind, the monkey mind, we are trying to get into the power of concentration we are doing. And those people who have got concentration, can we say that all these people are yogis? Far from it. Because the very same people who are very brilliant, sharp, are getting stuck with stresses, getting stuck with challenges. Take, for example, a business executive. He goes to work and works 10 hours, 12 hours, something even 16 hours. When he returns home, what happens? The same thinking loop continues. He is unable to come out of the thinking loop. After maybe a few days, he starts losing sleep. Then, naturally, he goes to the doctor. Then, okay, take sleeping pill. But some people are very progressive. They don't care for the doctor. Why I have to go to doctor? I will go there. Where? Start drinking. But the same people, after a few years, they have a massive heart attack or a stroke. Why? If concentration is the totality of the mastery, we should have heard that. It's here that yoga brings a point. That's only one part of the mastery. So, faster mind, quicker mind, brilliant mind, sharper mind, creative mind, innovative mind is one part of the mastery which is necessary. But there is a second dimension of mastery, calming down the mind, silencing the mind, tranquilizing the mind, and bringing it down. So, yoga defined mana prashamana upayaha yogaha. It said, calming down the mind. Prashamana is a beautiful word in Sanskrit. Prakashena shamayati iti prashamanam. That means deeply tranquil the mind. Go into the deep silence, deeper and deeper silence, and go into what are called the samadhis and higher states of consciousness. So this forms like two wings of the entire system of gaining the mastery. Therefore, unfortunately, our entire education system has been developed only the first. In our country, the Gurukula system, both were nicely harmonized in our Gurukula system of education. But when we had the Mekhala system of education came, so the first thing was contemporary. When people were sitting in deep meditation, calming down the mind, silencing the mind, Macaulay said, hey, don't feel lazy. Come on, get up, be active. You know, I was thinking, why did this happen? Not only in India, all over the world. Why did this happen? I was thinking. It's all because Macaulay thought of only two states of mind. One state of mind, lazy mind, lethargic mind, calm mind, silent mind, peaceful mind. Another is active mind, brilliant mind, energetic mind, faster mind, creative mind. These are the two things that he conceived. Therefore, he removed the entire dimension of calming down the mind, silencing the mind. It was given to probably Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, who did intensive research at Harvard. And he said, no. What he says, laziness, lethargy, drowsiness, sleepiness has to be shattered, no doubt. But the second time, you have to be active, fine. But there's the third state of mind, which is calmness of the mind, silence of the mind, tranquil mind, and deeper mind. So this is far superior than the active mind that you are talking. So don't equate this with the laziness, lethargy, drowsiness. Therefore, through the process of transcendental meditation, that is meditation process, he was able to show that this is a much higher state than even the things. So nearly 900 research papers were published under the guidance of Dr. Benson and other team in Harvard University. And by 80s, late 80s and others, everywhere TM became the order of the day. Everybody we started adopting it. So this is what is needed in the education system. We understood the whole thing. Therefore, you all should develop the third dimension to be put into this dimension. Ultimately, what is the goal? Kaivalya, Patanjali said. Kaivalya is the pure consciousness. That's ultimate reality. It's a state of perfection. Different people call it by different name. Vedanta is called moksha. And Kaivalya, called by Patanjali. And it's called as pure consciousness in science. Reality. We can say Parama Atman. That is the source of all of it. That's the original state. And Brahman is the base of all this creation. So that achievement of that is the whole goal. So Swami Vivekananda said each soul is potentially divine. The goal of life is to manifest that divinity. That divinity that is there has to be manifested. Why it is not being manifested? Sun is there, very bright sun, but dark clouds. Sunrise is not coming. Similarly, we have all that power, everything there, but we have 5 layers which are preventing that entire thing to manifest. And we have accumulated dirt in all these layers. And that's called as the prarabdha karma or sanchita karma and this dimension. All in the form of archetypes and blocks, knots, obsessions, and so on. So the whole process of yoga is to purify that, make it transparent. Then the whole power, energy, knowledge, these are going to come up. This is what we do. So how to do that? Swami Vivekananda again gave a direction that we have 4 streams of yoga. Working at the path of intellect, jnana yoga. Working at the path of emotion, the bhakti yoga. Working at the path of willpower, strengthening the willpower and developing complete mastery over the mind is the Raja Yoga. And bringing it to day-to-day practice to convert entire life into a life of yoga. Yoga is the science of holistic living, I call. That is the Karma Yoga. You can choose any 1, 2, 3, or all of these and be free. And the great yogi, Shri Aurobindo, he said, for the modern challenges are multidimensional. Therefore, one yoga will not do. You must have all the yoga. He call it as the integral yoga. So that's how the great masters, Swami Vivekananda and Aurobindo, has given the whole system into these 4 dimensions. Therefore, yoga works at all the levels. It is multidimensional, physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, with a spiritual basis. Therefore, it's the right solution to deal with the multidimensional challenges that we face in our era of science and technology. Because the challenges are multidimensional, you have multidimensional solution through the yoga. And that's why yoga has started to become so popular and around the globe. And therefore, Honorable Prime Minister presented this wonderful vision of yoga in the Union, UNO, what a response it was. He suggested June 21st to be the International Day of Yoga. It was accepted by 178 countries. And we were telling how our Islamic brothers and sisters also from 45 countries accepted and said, yes, we want the June 21st. And then with no challenge, exponentially, the things are growing, the spread of yoga all over. So how to concretize? This is one dimension, International Day of Yoga. And last year, the Ministry of Health had the target of 20 crores of people. 19 crores were achieved. And this year, the target was 25 crores. and we are collecting all the data to see whether we are able to achieve this thing. That's the dimension that comes. But Swami Vivekananda said, we are in the era of science and technology. Therefore, we have to combine the best of the East with the best of the West. What is the best of the West? Modern scientific research. And therefore, we have to bring this research dimension, evidence base for all dimensions of yoga and its application has to be brought forth. Therefore, the deeper dimensions of our tradition has to be understood. And we have to meet the challenge to see that the intellectual brilliance in our students are brought. How we are going to do that? By bringing the latest developments of science and technology to research about the benefits of our tradition. And it's here that this wonderful organization instigated by CSIR has started this Indian Journal of Traditional Knowledge, IJTK, and it's now expanding its wings to various aspects of life. And also along with that, we have the 15 journals that are brought out by the CSIR. I was very happy to know that every journal is going to come up in a big way. And we don't have to depend on the external journal only for our publication. Our dream is that we should have our Indian traditional knowledge brought out in its best performance, and people should bring their research into our journals. And that's how India can give the lead. Because in most of the journals I found in the Western journal, maybe it's the NEJM or Nature or Science, the holistic vision of the entire thing has not brought about in the whole thing. So it is here that we have to bring out these dimensions effectively we are doing. So this is one way by the research has to be brought. Then concretizing this dimension in the form of an education system. We started doing that in the school education and then brought through the university. So S-VYASA, Swami Vivekananda Yogananda Samsthan, is the most unique university which is based on this traditional knowledge to be brought forth. When we started this university, we had to completely rebuild the entire syllabus, the semester system, and everything has to be brought. And therefore, we had to work 3 to 4 years to bring about the entire thing and bring the entire dimension into it. What is the vision? The mission, be and make, as Swami Vivekananda said. So the whole goal is to bring about a transformation in the human beings. Education is a manifestation of perfection already in man, as Swami Vivekananda said. Therefore, we don't want just bread-earning education, but we want man-making, nation-building, peace-developing education that we want. It should be a total personality development. Therefore, every one of us should see that our students get transformed to the higher human beings. And then the second mission is combine the best of the East with the best of the West. So objective of S-VYASA, that is the short form of Swami Vivekananda Yogananda Samsthan, also of VAYU, that is Vivekananda Yoga University, is to make yoga a socially relevant science. As our Honorable Prime Minister said, it should not be limited only to those people who want to go Himalayan peaks and conduct their things. It should be brought down to everybody in the society. And that can happen when we understand that yoga is relevant, has a message for all in all aspects of human life. So how to do that? We need today evidence-based scientific research. So combine this thing by modern scientific research, and that is how we have to meet the challenges of the modern era. So therefore, research is at the base of this entire university, and Anveshna is a beautiful lab that we have developed in which we can measure all aspects in the physical body. Then we can measure what is happened to prana, the mind, emotions, intellect, everything we can measure. That's the speciality that we have. We can track and measure the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, Koshas, everything can be brought forth. So the University of S-VYASA is bringing about 2 journals, International Journal of Yoga, IJOY, and recently we got the impact factor of 1.6. And we have Journal of Applied Consciousness Studies, JSCS, by which we'll be able to. So the research contributions brings about research papers published in leading medical national and international journals. We have 920 research papers and 2 technical journals brought about, and the research dissertation, thesis, reports, nearly 2,500 we have been able to bring about. But this has to be brought forth so that the people at large will absorb this total wisdom base of our Indian knowledge base. Therefore, in all aspects of human life, it has to be brought. Therefore, in our university, we have division of yoga spirituality, division of yoga, life sciences, physical sciences, management studies, and humanities. And what is the main thing that we have to bring in the field of spirituality? It is that we have to bring in the dimension from matter-based paradigm to consciousness-based paradigm. This has to be established by scientific research. So culling out all our literary research from various texts of yoga, spirituality, various religions, we have to bring about what are the common factors of various religions has to be brought forth. And our students are bringing about such wonderful commonness from all religions. This is what Swami Vivekananda was heralding. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa did it in his own way. How doing the sadhana, he was able to get the sakshatkara of the Christ and Islam and all religions. And he said all religions are true. And we accept, we not just tolerate religions, but we accept all religions. That is our Indian greatness and heritage. And therefore, this has to be brought forth in scientific terminology. Using that, we move from matter-based paradigm to consciousness-based paradigm. And that is the one that we are trying to do this. Therefore, the division of spirituality, we have Samskrut, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Prasthanatraya, Shruti Prasthana, Smriti Prasthana, Nyaya Prasthana, all taught, and the Shraddharshanas. No? And we have comparative religions. So in all these things, we have to bring about the scientific dimension as to how all these things has brought out the consciousness-based approach. So our courses bring about how in the process there is going to be awakening of the Kundalini and various levels of Samadhi, and the Shraddharshanas are going to come up. So we have got the various chakras, which we do as we grow further from the Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agna, and Sahasrara. These are the dimensions that come out. So in the division of yoga life sciences, it could be the health sciences, the basic paramedical sciences, and other basic sciences of life sciences. So in this also we have to look at all dimensions, not merely physical, but mental, social, emotional, and the dimension of spirituality. So as WHO has organized, health is not merely absence of a disease, but is a state of well-being at the physical, mental, social, and spiritual levels. And that's how it has been brought forth in the whole thing. So we have an integrated approach of yoga therapy that we have brought called IAYT. So it works at all these koshas. So we have developed the programs at the Annamaya Kosha. We have got the dimensions related to the asanas, the kriyas, Sukshma Vyayama, music, loosening practices, strengthening muscles, and IRT, QRT, that is relaxation technique, and good diet, all these things. So when people come to our Arogya Dham, they get the diet therapy based on Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Tamas, Rajas, Sattva. And therefore, the holistic dimension of diet also comes in. Then in the Pranamaya Kosha, what is important is that we have to bring the pranayama, and we have the breathing practices and the special kriyas. Kapalabhati, Swami Ramdev has made it so popular. And this had to be brought forth along with various dimensions of pranayama, essentially to slow down the breath, thereby calm down the mind. At the mental level, we use the dimensions called dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Dharana and dhyana are meditation, and we have the mastery over the emotions that we bring about by doing this thing. At the Vijnanamaya Kosha, we work the theory aspect of it, very important. Along with we have the counseling. And finally, Anandamaya Kosha. Life is for enjoyment. All the time we should be happy. And for that we have the Karma Yoga. How to bring that Ananda throughout the thing. This is what Gita says. Yogastaha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, it said. These are the dimensions that we do. So it helps in prevention of diseases, promotion of positive health, and rehabilitation. This we have published nearly 900 research papers in this direction, and we are trying to promote and emphasize that in the health scenario we have to promote prevention rather than merely dealing with the diseases. We are building big hospitals, putting all our money for dealing with the sick people. That should be not work on the prevention. That's what I have been pleading in the Planning Commission and the Niti Aayog, and fortunately everybody accepted. And now the wellness centers have come. 1.5 lakhs wellness has come in the country. Each is a yearly budget of 25 to 30 lakhs per thing. So that comes to nearly 15% of the budget of the health. So this is how the emphasis on prevention has come in the country with this dimension. And then the integrative healthcare delivery system we have in our campus, 100-acre campus called Prashanti Kutiram, wherein people come from all different things. When the people come, we have got allopathy, yoga therapy, Ayurveda, naturopathy, physiotherapy, acupuncture, all under one roof. So they get wonderful, remarkable improvements doing this thing that come. You want people also to come who are normal to rejuvenate themselves. So this Vasudhaiva School of Health Integration has been set there for treatment of non-communicable diseases. Modern medicine handles surgery of muscular level, nervous level, and cellular level, aids only symptomatic relief. So modern medical therapy, Ayurveda, naturopathy, acupuncture, physiotherapy, all under one roof that we have. Now we have a number of other facilities in this thing which are necessary along with these things. And then we have the division of yoga and physical sciences. What we have to do, we have to see that we move from the dimension of physical science to understand what is life, what is prana, what is mind, emotions, intellect. We have to move from Annamaya to Pranamaya and doing that. For that, now the special techniques are there, the biowell-based research, which can measure what is happening in the Pranamaya kosha and give the complete detail of the whole dimension that is needed. Similarly, we have the double slit experiments and the reg-based things to measure the consciousness field. All that has been put forth there. And similarly, we have the low energy nuclear reactions that are brought forth and biological transmutation. And we are trying to develop mathematical model beyond quantum mechanics about the prana and other dimensions. So these are the divisions of S-VYASA which are promoting. Then we have the division of yoga and management. So in the world, we have moved from MBO to TQM, the total quality management of the Japanese system, which has run over the whole world. Now we have to move beyond that into what's called the holistic systems management. So the emphasis should not be only on the quality of the product, but quality of the life. That's also important. That has been imposed in our management system. So in the economics and business, it should be from money-oriented approach to human relations approach, based approach we had to bring about with a value system brought into the whole thing. That was our grandeur in our earlier business, which had to be brought forth. Then we have the humanities, in which we have arts, science, music, dance. So we have set up the School of Yoga and Performing Arts. We have the School of Yoga and Sport, School of Yoga and Jurisprudence. These are the dimensions that come up. In that, the contribution of yoga would be in developing of the voice culture, physical flexibility and strength, dexterity, creative development, emotion culture, and memory for arts and sports. And the whole emphasis comes that everything comes from that original source, that the silence, the samadhi dimension, from there the whole thing comes up. And that is done by relaxation at the body level, slowing down of breath at the prana level, and calming down of the mind, the three cardinal principles that bring about using the creativity. So therefore, yoga at S-VYASA has come into the academic level. We have got our university in India and YU in Los Angeles. Those who want a degree from America, they can take from YU in Los Angeles. They want an Indian degree, they can take from here. It's a full-fledged to university here. But the mother organization of that, which was set up in 1986, is called VYASA. And VYASA spread its wings throughout the country, and we have nearly 300 centers throughout the country, and 80 countries we have spread. And the center, this is based in Prashanti Kutiram, is coordinating all our activities all over the globe. And YU Vivekananda University is also the objective. So when our alumni who are producing nearly 500 to 800 students undergoing the things and getting bachelor degree, master degree, and doctoral program, they spread all over the world and spread this message of the holistic vision of our Indian knowledge base, and see that they are able to do this thing. They teach yoga for general public, train yoga instructors, deal with patients if they are trained as yoga therapists. And that is the Prashanti Kutiram, a 100-acre campus that we have in Bengaluru, and I welcome all of you to visit and go through our website, which continuously goes on. And I'm really once again thankful for all of you for giving me this opportunity to share with you as to how our Indian knowledge base can meet the challenges of the modern era of science and technology by having the holistic vision. Because the whole challenge that we are facing cannot be dealt with only with science and technology, because it's one-dimensional. So we have to have a multi-dimensional thing that is very needed, and that is what our Indian knowledge base gives. Therefore, rightly, our government of India, through the CSIR, has developed this beautiful center in which we have the research has been brought forth. I congratulate the whole team for developing this thing. I'm sure as days and months and years roll, we will be the leaders in the field of research through this Indian knowledge base. Thank you all very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for that thought-provoking key address. And thank you so much, sir, for explaining the yoga from the point of view of quantum physics as the first state of thermodynamic states that energy is neither created nor destroyed. It can be only transformed from one form to another. So we all are energies, and through yoga, we can actually clean our energies because people might lie, but energies never lie. And thank you so much, sir, for bringing out this, highlighting this point that in this era of 21st century, to face the global challenges, we actually need to have interdisciplinary approach. As a calm mind is a strong mind, and as Swami Vivekananda stated, that catch them when they are young. It is very important to inculcate or to include that yoga in the school education system. Thank you so much for this wonderful session, sir. Any question? We can allow 2 to 3 questions maximum due to paucity of time. Yes, sir. Sure.
Yes, that's why we have to reshape our entire syllabus in our university. This is what we have done. For example, when we teach, for example, anatomy, we deal with everything about the cell, the organ, the systems, and everything about the anatomy. But we say this is about the physical body, is fine. But apart from that, we have got another 4 bodies. What are the anatomy of this thing? In the pranamaya course, it's made out of the nadis and dimensions. So like that, in each subject, we have the best of the knowledge available today in the Western thing which is there, and we add on the dimensions of yoga and our traditional knowledge into the dimension. So this is how the entire syllabus is modified in our university, and this we are spreading through the Vayu and all over the world. And because of this online programs, this also has become possible. And we have also developed this AICT number of programs through the SWAYAM, through which we can spread this knowledge. And it takes time for the whole thing to happen. And this is how we had to bring about the whole change in our basic understanding from the matter-based paradigm to the entire consciousness-based paradigm. For this, the syllabus had to be changed. Practice has been brought, and the entire education system should be changed. Thanks to the new education policy that we have been able to do, there is more emphasis on the practices and more of practical thing than the theoretical thing. Earlier, most of the syllabus have been essentially concentrating on the theory, and the practice are very less. Therefore, we have to bring this dimension of practice more and more to bring about the necessary change in our entire world outside and also world inside. And that's what yoga brings about. And that is the grandeur of our Indian knowledge base that we have, which we are promoting. Good question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any more questions? Okay, so to conclude this session, I would love to quote one of the Bhagavad Gita's special shlokas, that yoga is the journey of the self through the self to the self. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. And now I request Shri Hassan Javed Sir Khan. So please come on the dais and felicitate our our chief guest with the token of gratitude for his wonderful insights toward this discussion. Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Charulata ma'am to please present the vote of thanks on behalf of CSIR NISPER.
Thank you, Mona Lisa. So good evening, everyone. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Swastik team and entire CSI NISPER for today's NISPER Swastik lecture session on yoga for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So yoga offers numerous rewards that improve our health and secure us peace of mind. So first and foremost, I thank our chief guest, Padma Shri Dr. H.R. Nagendra, most revered and respected Guruji, who is a renowned yoga expert and Chancellor of S-VYASA University, who despite his extremely busy schedule agreed to our request to grace the occasion and deliver the keynote address. I'm sure the audience must have been immensely benefited from his talk. I would also like to mention here that Guruji has also accepted our request for the position of editor-in-chief of Indian Journal of Traditional Knowledge, and we are deeply humbled and honored for this, and express our deepest gratitude to him for accepting our request. I also express my heartfelt thanks to our director, Professor Ranjana Agarwal, for her stewardship, support, vision, and commitment to promote Indian traditional knowledge and swastik. She has been a guiding force behind this national initiative, and her words of encouragement, able and continued support for this program is deeply acknowledged. I'm also very grateful to Shri Hassan Javed Khan sir for presiding over today's function in absence of Director Madam at the last minute. Sir has always been very kind and supportive towards all our endeavors, and his unstinted support in organizing this lecture is duly acknowledged. I can see that we have online members who have joined us, especially Professor B.N. Jagtap, Swastik Steering Committee Chair. So I'm highly grateful to him, and RC members also, and esteemed members from different CSIR labs who have joined us online. I'm also thankful to the general public and all other members of CSIR NISPER and otherwise who have joined us live through Swastik Facebook page to attend this lecture session. Now, I'm also thankful to Dr. Rabindra Acharya and Dr. Natesh Babu, along with other members from S-VYASA. And one madam also has come as a special invitee, so thank you very much. I would also like to thank the IT team led by Ms. Charu Verma, the audiovisual and media team led by Dr. Manish Gore and Shri Srivastava for helping us with the online meeting and live streaming of the program. Thanks are due to COA, AO, COFA, SPO, and all admin and finance staff who have helped us in organizing the program. A special thanks to the organizing committee, especially Dr. Parmananda Burman and Shri Rakesh Nagarwal and all the Swastik team who tirelessly worked on minute details for successful execution of the program. I thank all our colleagues and NISPER staff present here for accepting our invitation and attending this lecture. I thank the members of media for evincing interest in covering the event and all good hearts who work behind the screen. So kindly pardon me if I've left out any name. My heartfelt thanks to each and everyone for making this program a success. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I will request everybody to kindly stand up for national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, everybody. Everyone can proceed towards canteen for the tea. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Shubham Bhurya.